An opening statement from Coach Walz, and then we'll take some questions for the student athletes.
All right, thank you. Just first want to congratulate Vic and Mississippi State. What a great ball game. I mean, back and forth runs by both teams. It was a great ball game. I thought we competed. We played our hearts out. I thought they played their hearts out. It's just an unbelievable basketball game, and I'd like to thank these three next to me and the 9 in our locker room right now. It was one of the most enjoyable seasons that I have had in coaching, and it's not because of our record. It's because of these young women. They're not only great basketball players, but they're great people. And, you know, I told them, I said, you know, the most disappointing thing to me right now is that we're not going to get a chance to practice tomorrow. And that's the tough part of this. Athletics is a wonderful thing. It's a great thing, boy, but there's some ups and downs that just kick you square in the ass. And right now, this is one of those. But you can't let a moment define you. You've got to figure out what are you going to do to be able to get back here next year and then make sure that doesn't happen. But, you know, Myisha Hines-Allen, she's a young lady that we've had 4 wonderful years together. And I treat them all like they're my own daughters. There's ups and downs. They don't like me a lot. My 4.5-year-old doesn't like me a lot. So it's okay. It's called parenting. But the one thing I do know is this young lady is going to walk out of here with a degree, and she's prepared for life. There's no doubt in my mind. No matter what Myisha decides to do, she's going to be successful. And we take great pride in that here. Is not only winning basketball games, but making sure they are productive citizens, can make a contribution when they're out there. Because as my grandfather says, at 96, that's the most important thing I can do as a coach is make sure they go out there and they're productive and they contribute, because he needs to keep getting his Social Security check. So he wants them to get good jobs and pay taxes. So it's just it's a tough one, but I couldn't be more prouder than these young women. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Questions for the student athletes? We'll start right here in the front.
Myisha, into regulation, overtime, what was going through your mind as you see the shot go up right there at the end of regulation?
No, when she shot the ball, or wait, who shot?
The shot right there at the end of regulation.
Oh, I don't know. To be honest, I seen it go up, and I was like, hope she misses, of course, because then we would have won the game. We would have won the game. But I mean, she's a phenomenal three-point shooter. It's a phenomenal team that we just played. It was, you know, a mental breakdown that we had, and she got that open look.
Question in the middle here. There's a mic to your left.
Myisha, on your layup near the end of regulation, you cut to your left and it was an open lane in the basket. Did you think for a second about taking the ball out rather than laying it in, or do you think you left them too much time?
Well, the last play I had an open layup and I decided to dribble it out, and my teammates told me, you had an open layup, shoot the layup.
Yeah.
I got the opportunity again, and I wasn't going to, you know, disappoint my teammates.
That was the right decision. You want to score because they're going to foul you anyway, and you're going to have to go to the free throw line and make 2 free throws. So that was the right move. I told them if you've got a layup, you take it.
Question here in the front.
Howie Lindsay, 790 KRD. Jazmine, how tough was it to defend and this Mississippi State team that had so many different options?
It was really tough. They have great guards all down their team. Victoria, she's a great player. She's an All-American. It was really tough guarding her. And then they're three-point shooters because they could spread out the floor when they're driving. So it was really tough tonight.
Anything else for the student athletes? We'll take one more here in the middle.
Yeah, Jazmine or Asia or Myisha, there at the end of overtime, it seemed like their number 15, Tiara, kind of stepped it up a little bit. Could you sense that out on the court, that she became a little bit more of a force?
No, she was doing that all game. How many rebounds did she have today?
25.
25 rebounds. So I don't think it happened in the last 5 minutes of the game. But I mean, she's a phenomenal player too. She's an All-American. Kudos to her. She did a great job in overtime.
Final question for the athletes here.
Question for Asia. When you think of Myisha Hines-Allen, what comes to mind?
You got it.
I'm sorry. Can't talk. When I first got here, she did so much for me. My first year here was so hard for me, and she was the one who brought me through, took me underneath her wing. And she's done so much for our program. She's a great person, man. She played her butt off tonight. It's been so fun to play with her my 3 years, and I will miss her a whole lot. And I'll be by her side throughout her career. If she needs anything, I'll be here. I wish the best of luck to her, and I know she's gonna do great things.
Thank you, ladies. They're going to head back to the locker room. They'll be available in the locker room. We're going to start with questions for the head coach. We'll start with a question right here in the corner.
Coach, congratulations on a wonderful season.
Thank you.
You mentioned it in the press conference before, but Howard was probably the biggest difference. What did you tell your post players to try to do to keep her out, maybe push her out so she wasn't a factor on the offensive glass?
Well, we were trying to push her out away from the basket, trying to make it as difficult as we could. I thought, Sam competed and fought all night long. I mean, all of them did. Myisha did a heck of a job in there competing and fighting. Tara's a great player. I mean, we all know that. I mean, she did a phenomenal job on the offensive glass, and that was the one concern that we had, was trying to keep her off the offensive glass, trying to face guard her, do whatever we could. And unfortunately, it just we weren't able to do it. But I couldn't be prouder of a group. I mean, it's a tough one. It's tough. It sucks.
Question for Coach. You hear it back here in the middle.
Jeff, what was your view of Sam's fourth foul and her technical foul?
Well, I can't comment on much. I mean, I'll get in trouble, but I just can't. She slapped the floor out of frustration. She wasn't trying to mock the officials or anything like that. I mean, whatever. I mean, they're all paid a good amount of money to be out there officiating. So, what do I know about that? It's tough. I mean, she's battling the entire game, getting beat up too. It was physical underneath there, and it's a shame it has to come down to that. And if she had said something derogatory to the officials, which if she did, then she definitely deserved it. Slapping the floor, who knows? That was a 5-point swing. So yeah, it impacted the game.
Question right here.
Coach, Howard Mandel, High Post Hoops. Congratulations on the season that you had.
Thank you.
I just want to return to Tiara for a minute, because you talked before the game about essentially having a plan A, plan B, a plan C, and a lot of that really did pay off. I mean, she didn't get a field goal until 2 minutes left in the first half, and you guys really, even down the stretch, were denying her the ball. You see her still end up with 21 and 25. Does it just feel like this is the best you can hope for, any team playing against her?
We had a 3-point lead with 11 seconds to go. I mean, you guys make it sound like that we just got our ass kicked. I mean, we competed. These young women, we did a heck of a job. We knew that we weren't going to be able to hold her scoreless. I mean, I had talked before about just guarding everybody else and see if she could score 50 on us. She got 25 rebounds halfway there on the board's part. But, I thought we did a really good job on her. I thought we did a really good job. But you got to give Johnson credit. She goes 2 of 6 from the field and hit probably the biggest shot in her career.
Question here in the front.
Paige, Cardinal Sports Zone. When you think about Louisville greats, you think of obviously Angel McCoughtry, Candace Bingham, Shoni Schimmel. How does Myisha fit into that category?
Well, you're looking at a kid that scored over 2,000 points and 1,000 rebounds. I mean, there's only one other player that's done that, and that's Angel McCoughtry, and I think she's pretty good. So she's right up there with the best of them. I couldn't be more proud of her. I'll miss seeing her in practice. There's no question.
Question in the back.
Yeah. Was Danbury very much a part of your scouting report?
Oh, yeah. No, she definitely was a part of our scouting report. She drives the thing. We knew she was a driver. She attacked the rim. I've got to give her credit for stepping up and going 4 or 5 from the free throw line. You know, she hit some big free throws. But, yeah, she was on the scouting report. We knew that. But, unfortunately, we just, it was a great basketball game. I mean, it was just a great game.
Question here in the second row.
Jeff, with some of these swings, the sand foul and then the three at the end, and the Eagles three at the end of the third quarter too, was there one from your chair that stuck out the most, was the most impactful? And how did you your team look?
No, it was a game of runs, some big time shots by big time players. Obviously, Johnson's three was huge. Obviously, sends the game to overtime. But there's plays in the first half. I just told our kids in the locker room, everybody's going to look at that play and be like, man, that's the play of the game. I've got about 6 of them that I can show you from the first half where we didn't communicate, we didn't switch like we were supposed to, and we give up a layup on an out-of-bounds play. Well, that's just as critical as that last shot. But everybody, it's sports, which is great. Everybody remembers the wow moment. They don't look all the way back and go, man, if you get that stop there, you win by 2. But that possession there, it was just a hard-fought game. I'm happy for Vic. Vic's a great friend. That's a part of this job that's tough. You build friendships with people, and then you're out there trying to beat them. And as bad as it hurts for me and my players, you're crazy if there's not a little bit of you that's like, he's a good friend. And, I'll be watching him, unfortunately, on Sunday instead of us.
We have time for one last question.
I got all day.
Right here.
Just in terms of Myisha's future, what do you think she brings to a WNBA team?
Well, I think she brings power, brings strength. She can play inside out. She'll continue to work on her three-point shot, but I think she has the ability to extend to that range. Rebounding, she's got a chance to have a pretty long career in the WNBA and then playing overseas.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Columbus and everybody here. It's been a wonderful, wonderful event. You guys, Columbus has done a fantastic job, the committee, everybody. So thank you for that.
Thank you.